Give props to the team. We had to play tough defense, tough offense. Yeah, on the roads, but we eventually got it. We had to get ourselves together, especially in the second half. But eventually we got the threes in and we got the big W.
With my music, I just want to make people feel something, move to the music groove, Ready the game, bitch.
They asked me about the water in Flint, Michigan, and I told those Negroes, if you want good drinking water, buy bottled. Nah, nah.
You want to ask me if America is racist? Well, goddamn it, I tell you, is a white monkey white? Is a black monkey black? Is a silverback back silver?
Mm-hmm.
What we need for you white crackers to get off our back.
Yes, sir.
What we need is for us black people to revolutionize and stand together and make you white people get on y'all backs.
Preach, brother, preach.
Dude, I thought that was funny. I think it was dying, dude. That shit was funny.
Wait, say it again.
What?
What you say?
Oh, hey man, we are not Channing Tatum. We don't have to step up for shit, my nigga. Hey, I'm sorry, but hey, I'm not. Hey, nope.
So you won't be a stepdad?
No, I will not. I will not. Don't even come to me with that. I'm not even considering
So if
it.
a baddie came up to you, was like, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Y'all hitting it off?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, cool, whatever. And she takes you back home.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's one of those little tricycles in the front yard with the little red car.
I'ma just straight up say it. I'll be like, yo, does that tricycle belong to like your sister's kid who you're babysitting, or is this like your child? And then she's like, that's my child. I'm gonna say, okay, so you got two choices. It's me or the kid. Pick one, cause I'm not doing this. So either I'm moving in or the kid's moving out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you gotta pick one, man. Yo,
My guy said FDK for life.
FDK, you gotta be careful.
Man.
I do not want the responsibilities. Kevin Samuels speaks about these issues. Y'all need to the Book of Samuels. You gotta open it. Kevin Samuels, chapter 6, verses 43 to 46. You fucking up your life if you decide to go do some stupid shit like that, and don't do it. It's a trap. It's not good.
Oh wow.
Hey, Kings, I want you to be well, Kings. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying.
No, man, you gonna get us counseled. But I do concur. A girl cannot have more kids than me.
Yo,
That's my run rule. We gotta have either the same amount,
you know what I'm saying?
or I have to have more.
Hell yeah, because for me it's a thing of like, okay, if I already have a kid from a previous relationship and you have a kid from a previous relationship,
One of us actually has to be in that kid's life.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we can I'm like, we can make that work because we both have the responsibility of taking care of like our own kids from previous relationships. So we can make this work. Also, our kids are gonna have, siblings, somebody to play with. So it makes having to, be, ensure that they have like their attention and that they're doing shit, like it becomes easier. So we can do that. But if we're coming into this thing and you already have like a kid or two kids or three, sometimes even four, it's over, dude.
My guy said, we ain't Channing Tatum. We ain't stepping up for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to kids, man, 0, you can live like a hero. 4, fuck that shit.
No, fuck that whore.
Fuck that hoe.
Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Culture Clowns episode 5.
5.
Cinco.
There we go.
For all my Latin speakers.
I think the Spanish has gotten a bit better, possibly.
Hey, man, I'm working on it.
He said,
I'm
"Hey,
dating
man,
Latin.
I'm working on
Dating
it."
Latin. We out here. I'm working on
it. Yo, it's funny as hell, dude.
Trying to go into that Latin community.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck up some shit. Spray some seeds around.
Hell yeah. I need to find out in Spanish
Have some gelatos.
how to say when it comes to kids, 0, you can live like a hero. 4, I'm out the back door. I need to find out.
I'm your host, Jay Combs.
And I'm the other host, M. Kennedy Simbai.
Bro, that was the longest intro.
It really was. I wonder if we'll edit that shit. We're going to have to see about that. But,
Maybe.
you know, say, hey, unfiltered, man. We out here
Unfiltered.
just cracking jokes. But comedians, this is what we do. We try to push the boundary and just,
We should definitely go like hit up some damn comedy clubs or some shit.
Yeah, no, we should. We should.
It's
actually,
open, right? They're open back.
Yeah, I think they are. I actually want to do a set at the Ha Ha at some point because I did enjoy that, and I felt like when I did the thing for improv class, it was really good feedback from the people there. They were laughing at my jokes, so it felt good. One thing you don't want to do is bomb. You know what I'm saying? You just nobody wants to do that.
I ain't gonna lie. When we did that, I was on Broad. When people was rolling,
yeah,
man, I was like, dang, I really got them in the palm of my hand.
You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. It's an amazing feeling,
and then
bro.
I went back and to do some more, and I like got some good feedback. I was like, oh man, and then everything closed down. I didn't go do any more stand up. I was like, God damn,
damn.
But now,
yeah,
I'm free.
You're free. How have you been, Mr. Combs? What you been up to since
been
last
blessed.
week? Oh yeah,
I've been blessed, man. And cleaning house and getting ready to do some more, get back into doing some more stand up. Like I was just saying, I want to go check out and see like who's all actually letting people get up on stage and stuff. I'm actually started back writing on that script.
Nice.
Got some more stuff that I played around with.
Cool.
Man, I've just been living life, man. I feel like I have a new look and leash on life right now.
That's dope, dude.
I'm just trying to find that happiness that people keep talking about. That happiness and peace and all that.
The pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You're trying to be Will Smith at the end of the film, not the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a dream.
You know what I'm saying? You got a dream, man. Sometimes you got to sleep in dirty bathrooms in the subway to get where you need to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to grind. He said, no, it's not for me. No. He's not doing it. No.
That's not the pappy.
He said, I'm not doing that shit. No, for real though, man. It's a grind. It's a grind, And obviously us being out here.
What about you? What you up to?
Oh,
how you are? How are you?
How's I'm good.
Spirit?
First of all, I'm good. My spirit's good. You know what I'm saying? The ancestors have been giving us, really good vibes lately. I went to my witch doctor the other day, and I told him there's this girl I'm in love with, and he was like, "All right, cool. I got this potion for you. This muti." He was like, "This muti, you do this, that, and she gonna fall in love with you within 3 to 4 days."
Did it work?
Nah, she left me on scene on Instagram, so I don't know. No, but for real though, I've really just been I did some PA work at the Emmys. That was fun.
What was that like?
Oh, it was cool, dude. Honestly, I'm gonna get paid like over $200 for really not doing much. I was just helping with some logistic stuff because they were coming to like pick up all the different things. And so I had to kind of direct like these massive trucks and all sorts of stuff, and had to take this, there, that. I really didn't end up doing much over the course of the hours, and I was like, wow, I'm actually really going to get paid for not having done much. It's actually a crazy thing. On top of that, got lunch out of it, went to the Yard House. They paid for that. Got a Korean barbecue cheesesteak, which wasn't very good. It kind of went, kind of went to war with my stomach. I'm not even.
It sounds like you went to war with your stomach.
Yeah, bro. My stomach had Vietnam flashbacks. Helicopters whirring, Fortunate Son playing all that. I was like, damn, bro. I was not expecting that. But anyway, it was a cool experience. My homie Najee hooked me up with that. Shout out Najee. He's a great saxophonist.
If you haven't looked at episode 4, go check it out.
Yeah,
he was the artist of the week last week. Shout out to you, homie.
Yes, sir. That is correct. And yeah, dude, it was just a lot of fun. I was compiling some footage that I was shooting because I was just trying to get an idea for like a short film that I was trying to shoot before the end of the year. So I was just getting some footage as a template for what I want to do, and just capturing scenes and scenarios and angles and stuff. So that was cool. And the other day, I was on Westworld, like just did like a little some background work, nothing big, but it was really cool being on set with like Tandy Newton and Aaron Paul. That was a lot of fun. They're really great people, really consummate professionals. So that was cool. And yeah, all the other actors as well were just super cool people. The PAs, everyone on that set was just really nice. And yeah, you know, I've just booked for a bit more work. I had a Disney commercial yesterday that an audition for a Disney Plus that went well. And so I'm just waiting. I'll know before the end of the month whether I got the role or not. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I feel like things are slowly building. And obviously that's what we want, you know, going forward. You know, we definitely, so hopefully things snowball even faster, but it's just, for me, it's just great to consistently stay busy and just doing stuff. Like you said, trying to find that happiness they're always talking about. And for us, obviously, you know, our happiness is found in the work that we do in a lot of ways. So we just want to build on that, you know. Yeah. But enough about me. What are we getting into first for today? You know,
you know, you're right. You're right about, you said something about, finding your happiness in the art for us. Finding our happiness is finding it, like, what we do. And for me, I couldn't agree more. Like, man, I love storytelling. I love, like, entertaining people. So, yeah, you're definitely right with that.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, for today, I want to talk about this whole Haitian thing and this whole them getting whipped.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this whole border crossing and all this?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this?
It's a really sad situation. I'm sure a lot of the people who watch our podcast are aware of what's been happening at the border with like the 10,000 Haitian migrants or immigrants trying to get into the United States. As in terms of like how they ended up there and stuff, it's still a very sketchy situation. From what I understand, some of the Haitians went over to Brazil to help with the building of things for like the World Cup and stuff when they had it in Brazil. And then at some point, I guess, some of them ended up making their way up to the border, and they kind of just ended up there. The whole situation is very weird. People say that it needs to be thoroughly investigated because there is a belief that there could be a third force involved that basically created the situation that brought the people there and in order to create a bad border situation. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but just from a point of view of how you treat people, like the images and stuff that I saw, which is crazy.
Man, forgive me for this. I'm not as in depth in tune in what's going on, like the whole situation. I seen the whole tweet from the president's office. He was like, border people with people on horses should not be whipping people. And I was like, what? And then I checked it out. I was like, wow. And then so I thought it was just, when they were saying, it's stuff going on at the border and border crossing, I thought they were talking about what was going on. Yeah. And you got all these, like, the vice president coming out talking about it. And I was like, what's this border? And then I realized, oh man, this is crazy. Yeah. But what also was crazy to me is somebody like on one of the social spheres, I forgot which one I'm on. I'd be spending all my time on all of them. They were like, man, it's crazy that y'all just let in 250,000 people from like Iran and
it's like 90,000 of them, I think, or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And then they like, but you're at this border right here. You just like, nah. And then you got men on horses whipping people. It's like, not a good look.
It's crazy. And the whole thing is they were like, they can no longer like ride the horses or use the horses. And I'm like, that's not the issue. Like, y'all trying to make it seem as if it's the horses that are at fault for whipping these people, for treating them like that. It's like, no, it's actually the border patrol. Right. Like the one image, the dude is clearly smiling. Like he's enjoying what he's doing. Right. To enjoy inflicting that much pain on people who are already in a desperate situation is just shocking, and it's like soulless. And it's and the Biden administration is completely like mishandled this. But for me, what really pisses me off is like, we have a woman of color as the VP, you know, a black woman. They're like calling Kamala Harris a black woman. Right. She's a VP, and she's really been nowhere during Biden's administration so far. And with the whole Haitian immigrant situation, she's
Check her
said next to
Instagram out.
nothing.
You swear she was doing something. Oh, I just got done meeting with such and such.
Yeah,
Oh, I just
such and
got,
such. Nah.
we out fighting for you.
Nah, you ain't doing shit, Kamala. Like, you really aren't. And it's shocking to me because it's like,
You know something I thought about though. And something I hark back to is, did we really expect? What could we really have expected from her? Like, I knew what the deal was when they elected her, like as vice president. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that made me want, and I bought into why that made me want to vote for Joe Biden because he had Kamala on it, and otherwise I was an idiot. But yeah, like so, yeah. But I knew going into it, the vice president, and she's a woman.
yeah. Your assumption is that she's gonna be zero tolerance, no nonsense.
No, I get that, but it's like, for instance, we'll take it back when Joe Biden was vice president. You didn't even know Joe Biden existed still half the time.
Yeah, to be honest.
Vice presidents, they just there.
They're just there to assist the president, but it's just a title in many ways because you're not the main focus.
And I'm not being like devils or sympathizing like whatever for it, because she, you have the president's ear and you have to speak, the room to speak. But let's be real though, I ain't about to finna listen to her really like that. Nah. She's just there to make everybody look like they're doing something.
It's purely cosmetic. Her being there is purely cosmetic.
Exactly.
We thought that having a black woman would mean that, like, when situations like this happen, there's going to be immediate change and a serious coming out and saying this is not acceptable. We can't stand for this.
But I thought they put out there. Yeah, well, a
to
tweet
be honest,
isn't anything.
Yeah, it's like, what does that do? Like, the situation is just like, yeah, the border in general is a mess. And I mean, it's been a mess for years. Under Trump, it was still a mess because of what he was doing, especially with the kids. That was still a mess. And the kids are still in cages now. So nothing's really changed under the Biden administration, even in how many months have they been in for now? Like, what, 8 months or whatever it is?
Right. I go back to what I said before he was elected president, before everything was wrong. Before everything was counting, and before he transitioned, and this is what I knew, and I have always said: Joe Biden is going to be a transition president. That's not going to be known for doing anything great. Yeah, he's just going to be there to transition and probably help everything transition from like the shit show that we just got done with. Like, he's going to be just a plain average. He's going to be Carver. No, Grover. Choose one of the presidents.
Oh, Grover. Didn't they say Grover Cleveland?
Yeah. Yeah, choose any other ones that you don't know about.
Yeah, you said choose any of them niggas. Yeah, there's a lot of random obscure presidents, bro.
They just were there.
That was just there, and like,
that's what he is. He's just there.
It's like, yeah, literally. Some of them were like beefing with hella niggas, got into fights. You know, back then, like 1800s, 1700s. They didn't have anything else to do, so niggas would just be beefing, dueling, doing stupid shit, dude.
Hoover literally went. Was it Hoover that like J. Edgar Hoover that like took the damn No, it wasn't him. It was Roosevelt that did the damn duel with the dude and then got shot.
Oh yeah. What was his name? Was it John? Not John Adams. Was it? It was someone else.
Was it not Teddy
Hamilton? Oh, it was Alexander Hamilton with the duel.
No, Hamilton wasn't the president.
Yeah, he wasn't though. But
wasn't it Teddy Roosevelt that like he was like badass and then did that shit? Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah, because Teddy was the one on the horse, right? He liked like nature and shit and like conservation, like shooting shit, had like a rifle and all that. Yeah, Teddy. Nah, he was Teddy. He's definitely one of the GOAT presidents just in terms of what he did, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, imagine having that much power. It must be crazy, dude. Like, you can, you know what I mean?
You know what's crazy though? You can literally wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't like this country.
You know?
And go boom.
Boom. You could. You really could.
And by Congress, and you can say, oh, you got to go through steps with Congress and stuff. No, not to go into not to just do a battle. Yeah. To do a war. To incite a war, you have to, but do just send troops or even to initiate.
As the president, if you want to launch nukes, you can. I don't think Congress
No,
they don't have to say, "Oh
No.
yeah, you have to
No.
go through us to launch a nuke." No, you can push that button. You can tell them, "Unlock that box. I'm gonna push that red button. I'm
know how
gonna
crazy
nuke this
that
whole
is?
place."
You know how crazy that is, though.
It is crazy. It is crazy because I'm pretty sure, like during World War II, with like the atomic bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Congress didn't approve dropping those bombs. They just dropped them shits. the United States
I
just
think
was
they
dropping
did.
them
I
shits.
think everybody was like on board. Like during World War II, though, you gotta look though. They were all gun ho about war, and everybody loved the whole war before.
Yeah,
Then you go into numb. That's when people start looking at it and go, nah, peace, love, positivity, my brother. And that's when what's his name? Carter. Not Carter. Was it Carter? Basically, they started the war on drugs because they wanted to get hippies and black people out of the way so they can go to war.
That's right.
No, that was the thing.
He
They
said
even
he's
said
in black people.
no. That was a legit thing. That
Yeah.
who was it that started the fucking war on drugs?
Oh, it was Reagan?
No, it wasn't Reagan. He continued it and made it worse. But I think it was Carter.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I think it was Carter who basically said, well, we couldn't. It was his vice president came out and was like, oh, we couldn't make the war about black people and hippie. We couldn't say, oh, we want to target drugs and stuff and make it
Hippies
about
and put drugs in there. Yeah.
So we had to do something to target black people and the people that was going against war efforts, and that's basically how they started.
No, it's a real thing. There's a lot of
That's why
shady
weed is
stuff,
illegal. That's why weed is still illegal to this day.
right? No, but there's a lot of shady stuff with the U.S. government. Like I know, you know,
You can look this up.
from
I'm
the
good with
60s. They were like introducing like certain drugs like LSD and stuff into like the music scene and like celebrities and stuff to kind of basically get drugs and push drugs into the public imagination.
But yeah,
And,
like the whole thing with
yeah.
weed. The reason why weed is illegal to today is because of that. Because they wanted to make hippies. They wanted to get hippies out of the way so they can go to war.
Oh, I thought according to Reefer Madness, they said marijuana would make white women want to sleep with black men, and I have no problem with that. But that's what Reefer Madness said. So
Good marketing. Good
yeah,
marketing.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But in hindsight, though, 2020 hindsight,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's not yo. I'll be honest. The 50s was a crazy time, dude. Like, just you can just imagine that. Like, is your daughter smoking marijuana and you're worried you're gonna have light-skinned kids like Steph Curry? Stay away from marijuana. This has been a public announcement. Like stupid shit,
Probably
dude.
the episode of the 70s show.
Yo,
The whole PSA about weed.
the whole PSA, dude.
Oh,
That shit crazy. No, but yeah, the war on drugs and it's a lot, man. It's a lot, man.
It's really
just
crazy.
But yeah,
Which
yeah.
it gets us into the hot topic of the week, which is basically to set this up, right? I seen an article about films and it was talking about anti-hero films. And then on one of those anti-hero films, it had Scarface. And I was like, Scarface isn't an anti-hero. Because when I think of an anti-hero, I think of somebody, they may not be good, but they not like I think Deadpool. He's a good guy. He just does what the fuck he wants to do. Okay, he's not fucked up. He's not doing anything illegal, or he's not doing anything. He might do. Okay, he do a lot of bad stuff. I'm not gonna say he's not doesn't do bad stuff, but he's not a bad guy.
Very interesting. Yeah.
But Scarface, for a fact, is nowhere in that movie is he shown to be a good guy.
I think
This guy beat up the dude because he was asleep. He only looked at his sister.
you know it's a crazy thing.
This man was sitting at his desk with cocaine on his nose.
You know, I think that Scarface is. I think he is an anti-hero in some ways because to be an anti-hero, we as the audience have to relate to this character or empathize with him in a certain way. On top of that, the character has certain negative traits that continue to put them in situations that aren't good or that don't show them off to be in a positive light. But you're still rooting for them. As the audience, you're still rooting for them. That's kind of the traditional understanding of the anti-hero. And I think with
even
Scarface,
then with that, though,
yeah.
even that though, the traditional ideal of the anti-hero, you still have to have some morally good thing about you. Still have to be a good. You have to be a good guy at the end. Maybe not a good guy, but you still can't be a bad guy.
You can't be entirely bad, but also it's like the line gets blurred very easily, especially with anti-heroes, because I think in Scarface's case, at least from the way that I look at it, it's kind of like the dude, leaves Cuba, obviously is, escaping an oppressive regime. Mm-hmm. So there's that, first of all. Mm-hmm. We empathize, especially because how Americans were very bring all the Cubans over here. Mm-hmm. we love the Cubans. So there's that whole thing of a oppressed individual leaving their homeland. Second thing, they come to America to seek the American dream, which is what? To build wealth and prosperity. That's something that most Americans can relate to, even if you are not an immigrant, even if your family has been here in the United States for a very long time. But your family came here for that exact same reason. And most families, at least in my traditional kind of understanding of the United States, most of the people who came here to the United States willingly, of course, the ones who came here willingly were generally escaping oppressive conditions or oppressive environments from wherever they were coming from. And then it's like they came here to build their wealth and prosper, and Americans are always pushing that. Like that's the American dream. We empathize and we want that. So from that aspect, I see that. I see the drive for somebody who's an immigrant, comes to America with nothing and wants to build up into something. Even though, and it's a negative character arc. His character arc isn't a positive one. I feel like you get anti-heroes where there's a positive development. Like there's an anti-hero who's super arrogant and ignorant at the beginning, but by the end changes and they're actually not anymore.
And this is where I'm going into.
Right.
This is my thing, right?
Yeah.
This is why I say it all ties together. If Scarface, let's say if Scarface, even in today's time, if Scarface was Haitian, would we still praise Scarface? Would America still praise Scarface if he was Haitian or Jamaican or any of those like Latinos?
Nah, names? Probably not. At least in the public image, probably wouldn't be glorified. Maybe in rap music, maybe, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like Freeway Rick Ross.
That's my thing.
Did people glorify Freeway Ricky? Do you think people ever glorified him or looked at him as like, yo, that man's selling packs. He's got money. Like
that's something else. And that's my thing. That's my next question is why it's crazy to me, and why do you think that in media we glorify white gangsters and white bad guys, right?
Facts.
So, black people do the same crimes. We stigmatize them and say we call them the worst things ever, and they're the most they're basically evil, decrepit beings. Yeah. Like for instance, we love Scarface. We love Al Capone. We love El Chapo.
Yeah. What's his name? The Teflon Don. Whatever. I forgot his.
What's his name?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then what's his name?
John Gotti.
Yeah, John Gotti.
That's his name. John Gotti, yeah.
We love them.
We love them
gangsters.
Niggas. Yeah.
We love gangster movies. But guess what? Black people do those same gangster things. Oh, no,
no, facts, dude. Like, for example, you can go on YouTube and you'll see interviews with
a former
mobster, like in the millions. And the comments section, most of the time is like, no one says like, oh yeah, these people are scum, this, that. It's a lot of people glorify that shit.
Right.
And then for some reason it's a totally different thing though with black gangsters. You're right though. And I've noticed this for a very long time. Right. Films like Goodfellas and there has been some criticism of films like Goodfellas and stuff because people are like, yeah, you kind of glorifying that life.
Put it like this.
But not as much as there should be.
Put it like this. People love Goodfellas. They love The Godfather.
Yeah.
But guess what? They hate Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
They hate Menace to Society. They hate New Jack City. Oh, those hood movies, they don't do nothing but portray violence and gang and blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but what about, the other stuff? You're totally right, dude. Like, for me, it's a thing of, like, it's very obvious that there's a bias and that there always has been. And I think it has to do a lot with, again, how America has created a certain image of certain people. because you still have Italian gangsters now. There's this idea that all gangsters and thugs are black, but it's like, okay, but what about the Italian mob? Because they're there.
And
what about the Jewish mob?
part?
What about the Russian mafia? What about the triads? What about there's all groups that do it, but there's one particular group that always seems to be ostracized for doing that gangsterism shit, and it's black people.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah.
And you know what was crazy to me about it? I really find it ironically funny and hilarious that us as black people, we run around, we say, yeah, we gangster, bro. I'm keeping my gangster. I'm a gangster. When it's funny because the original gangsters were nigger hating Italians.
Yeah. The boys, bro.
Or nigger hating Italians.
Put it
like this.
Mooks. They call us mooks. Yeah.
Put it like this. Let me put it like this. Who you like this? If you go watch your boy, what's his name? Love the gangster movies. What's his name? Mr. the Goodfellas guy.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. Go watch a Martin Scorsese film. How many black people you see in those movies?
Oh yeah, like next to none.
Why?
We know why. Moolies. They even call us moolies in the films, like, cause that's their whole, like, that's the insult, the Italian insult for blacks.
I watched in Goodfellas. I seen one black guy the whole film, and he was supplied to die, and then the whole time they ostracized the guy. The whole time he was legit set up to be the fall guy.
No, it's true. The Irishman. Like, you can make films like this. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you guys are, this isn't good for the white community." Blah 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 blah. Nobody says that. But then you make a film about black gangsterism. It's like, "Oh, this isn't good for the community." Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, but we're doing the same thing they did, but you are responding in a totally different way. Like, why is that? You know what I mean?
Or they be quick to, well, you know, I want to make a hood movie or a gangster movie. Well, who is it about?
Yeah.
See, I don't think that transfers over to different markets.
Yeah, I don't think visually that's gonna be,
Why? Because they're black?
Yeah.
Well, it's not that, but
no, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
You got to think internationally.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're being emotional about this. That's not fair.
But no, man, that's crazy.
Ooh.
But something also though that's really crazy to me about that is these whole ideas of the gangster movie and all these, oh man, you gotta have these great movies about these great people, quote unquote, horrible people, deplorable people. But we can't have these same conversations about people that we see that in our normal lives because you don't hear about the black gangsters and the freeway Ricky Ross's or the BMF gang who just now that's got a new series coming out. I think it's on Amazon or HBO. They got one.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But you don't hear about these people. Why? Because they're not glorified like that. Maybe in rap music, but even deep rap music.
And people really tend to forget that for a very early part of America's history, even after black folks, became free from slavery, the groups that were the most violent were the Italians and the Irish. They were actually the most violent groups in the United States. They had like a number of gangs that, you know what I mean? And then obviously due to certain policies and segregation and all sorts of things, lack of opportunities, welfare, a whole bunch of different stuff, black folks obviously ended up gravitating more towards the underground economy, i.e. certain crimes like,
but something also though is crazy because I say these things, but I also, one for me is this: I'm tired of seeing just the black pain film, like the Woe Is Us films. I want to see us in more diverse films like these. Like if it's gonna be a black movie about gangsters or a hood movie, make it a good hood movie.
How can you make it different, right?
Yeah. Like how can you don't just do the same format or same like how can you make it good and like for instance, I like Takers. Takers is basically a black version of what's not Goodfellas, what's the movie where they was like Kaiser Sose.
The Usual Suspects.
Yeah, Takers was basically a black version of that in a way, mixed with like all the other bank robbery movies. So yeah, I like Takers, and it was a blacker version of it. Most people won't get Takers.
Yeah,
but Takers, if you really look at it, is a pretty good movie, and it's pretty well written.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, you're right. It's really about making it, and again, people need to understand. Nobody's trying to glorify this shit. Like I'm not trying to I don't feel like these films are made with the intention of being like, oh yeah, get into the life of gangsterism. No, like, I mean, at the end of Scarface, the dude, obviously gets blown away, gets, you know, and there's a lesson in that. You know what I mean? Fast money, a life of crime can lead to your death. That's the lesson. It can lead to everything crumbling around you. You can build it all up. Then ultimately there's going to be a downfall. You know what I mean? So I don't think with any of these films they're trying to glorify stuff, but there is a different reaction to these films depending on what race the gangsters are. Definitely a much different. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's a very interesting thing. But we'd definitely love to hear your thoughts on that. So make sure that you comment. You know what I'm saying? Let us know, because I feel like this is definitely a topic of conversation that people need to engage in.
Exactly. Like, we need to have this conversation about, like, put it like this. Like you said, we're not trying to say glorify it, but it is still entertainment, and you still can make great movies from it. But all I'm saying is this. If you want to say gangster movies are just entertainment, then why can't there be more black film? If it's a black film that does come out that glorifies it, it's immediately stigmatized and say, oh, no, you can't do that. And that's my only thing about it. But we glorify these Bunny and Clydes and all these Unusual Suspects and stuff like that. So for me, it's just, and I look at these movies, I'm not even gonna lie, like Martin Scorsese, I wish, like, I if I ever get to work with him, awesome. Awesome for me. But however, I can't say that it's ever been a Martin Scorsese film that I ever just sat down like, oh man, that was just amazing.
Really? I mean,
I've always sat down and say, oh, this movie's kind of long, but
his films are long. I mean, look, again, people have different tastes, so some people like long films, some people prefer shorter films. I like, it's cool. Yeah. But my thing is, I don't have any problem about it being long, but they feel long. They do. I agree.
Like The Irishman, it felt all of 4
hours. Hell yeah! No, The Irishman, you're right, dude. Like, without a doubt, of course, he does make good films though. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not that they're not good. Yeah. It's not that they're not good. It's just they're not for me.
Yeah.
They weren't meant for me.
For you, yeah. They're meant for a certain audience in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying to it. It's none of his films were for me or meant for me. I felt like
that's facts. Like, I don't know if you've seen there was this interview with Denzel, and I think he's like sitting on a stage with some other people, and they're being asked questions, and then somebody was like, "Oh, what's the difference between like?" Oh, he said, "Could a white director have made Fences type of shit?" And he was like, "Well, no, you've got to understand it's about a difference in culture, because you could have gotten a black director to make Goodfellas or The Irishman, but it's not gonna be the same." Scorsese has an attachment to that kind of stuff because culturally,
that's where he's from.
He has a certain understanding that you as an outsider do not have. He has certain experiences that you as an outsider do not have. You know what I mean? And so that then also goes back into like who the work is for, because Fences is really not a film that's necessarily, of course there's lessons that you can draw from all these films, but let's not lie and say that Fences is for white women in the age of 30 to 60. That's who they wanted to come out and watch Fences.
Man, that Viola, she cries,
I'm saying?
When Viola hit
the snot bubble that
brings everybody in.
Just gotta pop like a sawed-off shotgun. Pop. Yeah, she always gotta do the snot bubble. That's Viola Davis standard, bro.
Or that walk, man.
Yeah.
Boy, she always looks pissed off and
She
tired.
always looks bad, bro.
She really does always look like she's mad, tired. Like she's always over it. In every film, in everything she's in, she's always over it. But she's so fucking great.
She's amazing.
She is so like it's not anything that she's ever been in that I just like, man, hate.
Yeah, you know,
Like, I've never seen her in something that I hated.
there's never been a poor performance from her, dude. She
Exactly.
always brings her A game. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, she was so good. I don't know if you watched that yet.
I've
but
seen it. No, I've seen it.
Yeah, that film was fucking crazy.
It was
dude.
good.
She was,
It was good.
great. She was amazing in that. I was like, damn, nah, she's stunning, dude. She's really is stunning. If I ever get the opportunity to work in a scene with her or work on set with her, then I know, like, damn, I'm actually working with a living legend right here. And obviously,
You have to take note of that. You do have to take a note of that.
you know what I mean.
That's one of those you got to be like, damn, she's great.
Like Viola.
You know who's
dude,
somebody else that's
crazy.
really great? That if I ever just got to work with them, it'd be like, man, you got to take a note of this.
Mm.
Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah,
That man,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like auntie, man.
she's
like,
the highest
bruh.
paid black woman on television right now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, with
she-
the 911.
I did
She's the
not
highest
know
paid
that.
black woman on television right
But
now.
yeah, that's one of those
Yeah.
people that you sit back and you like, damn, she's still to this day probably her and Jamie Foxx had the two best biopics that I ever seen.
Oh yeah. I mean Ray.
Ray and What's Love Got to Do With are my two favorite biopics of all time.
Mm,
And I can't choose one or the other because they're so different to me, but they're so good. Both of them are so good.
Ray was powerful, bro.
I think the thing is with
Ray.
Ray for me though, it's the one that kind of set the trend and tone of how all these biopics are being told today.
Yeah. I definitely think so. Ray was definitely the first biopic I watched where I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like this is what a way to tell the story of
And then you
someone's
see
life.
all it,
You know what I mean?
and that's crazy
Yeah.
because how Ray was formatted. That's basically how you see every biopic that's since been. And maybe it didn't start with Ray, but that's the first time I seen. And ever since Ray, that's the same format every biopic has been to me.
Do you think we're ever going to get like a Michael Jackson biopic?
Do we need one?
Honestly, we really don't need one. I'll be honest, we don't need one.
Because here's
But-
the thing: you had the Michael Jackson family story.
Yeah.
You had the This Is It.
Yeah, you had This Is It. You know.
You don't really need it.
Yeah. You
I
really don't.
I don't think we need it. Like if they made they
yeah.
made it cool, but it'd be like, why? It wouldn't.
Mm.
And I feel like it wouldn't do it justice.
Who would you get to play Michael? And
I don't feel like
who would direct it as well? I feel like that would definitely be a point of contention. Like, how would you and my thing is like, would the family even be honest about what you could mention, what you couldn't? I mean, I'm sure we can ask that same question for every other biopic, but it's like Michael was Michael. It's
But that's
on
the
a
thing.
different level. Yeah.
It's like, I think it's this though, right? You had the Michael Jackson family story. They took it up to his teen years.
Mm.
Okay, only thing that you would really and in biopics, it's really the bulk of the story is those him coming up years. What you telling a Michael Jackson story now that hasn't been told in some form or fashion
Yeah.
in other things?
That's very
Like,
true.
Yeah, really, only thing you would want to hear now is like more, not biopics, more for me personally, what I would want to. It's just like more like the found footage or stuff like that. They what do they call it? Documentaries.
Yeah, documentary. Would y'all want to see a Michael Jackson biopic? Please let us know in the comments section. You know, let us know. I'll be very interested to know.
All right, and so leading into all these film talk,
Mm.
question of the week, or questions with the clowns rather.
Yes,
for this
sir.
week.
Mm-hmm.
This is y'all chance to engage and interact with us and give us y'all point of view and y'all answers to the questions that we're going to provide here today.
Mm-hmm.
And so for today, y'all, we talked a lot about films and like a lot about like just cultural-wise films. So I want to know, what are your Mount Rushmore gangster movies?
Yeah.
There's 4 movies.
4.
Strictly gangster, not bank robbing, just strictly gangster. They have to be gangster or doing some gangster aspect.
Yeah.
So let us know down below in the comment section below, or on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or where else are we?
All that. You know, we on pretty much
Facebook.
everything. Facebook, MySpace,
MySpace.
You still got your MySpace account?
No, it's somewhere out there floating, but I don't know where. I wouldn't know how. Man, you know what I would have to, the level of brain power that I would have to go back to that little kid. That's a 13-year-old kid.
That's
13-year-old kid that I have to legit try to figure out what was he's thinking.
Yeah.
And like what would be his damn passwords and all that.
All that, bro.
I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, too old. Yeah, so definitely please let us know about your Mount Rushmore films. But Jay, what is your Mount Rushmore of gangster films?
Let's get them. So for number one, we talked about it.
Okay.
It's Scarface.
Okay, yeah.
It's definitely Scarface.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We talked. I talked all the shit about it in the beginning, but it's only. It's just it's for me. Yeah, it is what he's not an anti-hero. I feel like he's a very, very deplorable person. Like it's nothing about this character that tells me he's an ounce of good or a hero in any aspect. Maybe anti-hero in the aspect that he is. Maybe that he has to be the one that they tell a story about and they have to make him likable. But he's not an anti-hero. But it's a great movie.
Okay.
Number two, one of my favorite Denzel movies, American Gangster.
Oh yeah.
Man, that movie is so great.
So great, dude.
So like one of my favorite scenes is when he walked up to old boy on the street, his cousin. Yeah, no, it wasn't his cousin. It was one of his workers or whatever. He walked up to him on the street and he was like, "Oh, so you gonna kill me right in front of everybody?"
Yeah, and then just blast him, bro. That I was not expecting that, dude. He
like,
just shot that dude right in front of everyone on the
when
street,
T.I. was
bro.
like, "I want to be like you, Uncle Frank, in that big ass house, bruh."
Yeah. T.I. I forgot T.I. was in that film.
bro.
Hey, shout out to Beat the Case.
That was
one of the many cases. Guess, hey man, beat that case, man.
But yeah, American Gangsters is definitely one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. No.
And then the
facts.
number two and number three and number four for me, they go hand in hand. It's Juice and Boys in the Hood. Like I feel like those are two hood classics. You can't go wrong with them.
Facts.
I love Tupac is amazing. Like that's when you like Tupac is a great actor.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it. Like I still use that. At first I was crazy in my auditions when they say do a monologue. Like, that's crazy. And then of course Boys in the Hood is probably one of the best hood movies ever.
Hell yeah. No, for
and,
sure. What a cast as well, dude. It was well cast and just
exactly. I love seeing all their interviews about how they got casted into that and all their road into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my four. What about you, Ian? What you got?
Nice. So in no particular order, I got New Jack City. I absolutely love that film. Also, Wesley Snipes. A huge Wesley Snipes fan. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was just a very grimy, dark film.
I fucks with that. Am I your brother's? Am I my brother's keeper?
You know what I'm saying? Chris Rock also in there. I really love the aesthetic. If I'm not mistaken, it was directed by Mario Van Peebles. R.I.P. to his dad. He died like 2-3 days ago. Melvin Van Peebles was also a trendsetter in the industry, especially during the 70s. Then The Departed, Martin Scorsese film. Like one of my favorite gangster films, dude. Just the whole film from start to finish is just brilliant, dude. And there's so many twists and turns. It's cold. It's a cold, brutal
That's
film.
The one
dude.
about what's his name?
It's the one with Jack Nicholson and
no, it's about who was the guy?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
No, it was what's the guy? The guy, real life guy.
Oh, he was the gangster. He was a like Irish gangster.
Oh, okay.
In Boston, but I've forgotten his name.
Is that the one with the FBI guy?
Yeah, it's the one with the cast was crazy.
It's in real life. It was about the FBI guy, J. Edgar.
No. It was about a dude who has to infiltrate the Jack Nicholson's
Never
gang.
mind. That's not the movie I thought it was.
Yeah. No. But it's a fantastic film, and I absolutely love it. Great, crazy cast: Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg, had Anthony Anderson, had a whole lot of different people in it. Like a really, really crazy film. Then I got Goodfellas. I do love Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? Well shot film, and it really, really just showing people the underground. The world, what that was like, especially from the Italian gangsters' point of view, and I like that. I like getting the different understandings of gangsterism, you know, across different groups. It's just very, very interesting, and the gangster cultures that exist, you know, the codes of silence or whatever it may be. And then the fourth one, American Gangster, which of course you already mentioned, and that's just a straight banger.
I'm gonna take.
What I'm saying? So
I have to take Juice off mine because I realized Juice really isn't about gangsters. It's just more about 4 dudes who like are around gangsters.
Yeah,
like gangsters around them.
Yeah.
So I gotta take Juice off.
Okay.
But
When
I
you
am gonna
replace,
put.
yeah.
I'm gonna put New Jack from your list.
Okay.
I'm gonna put New Jack on because
Hell yeah.
New Jack is pretty dope. Wesley Snipes is amazing.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Love that movie.
Yo, I'll also give an honorable, even though there's only 4 heads on Mount Rushmore, I will give an honorable mention to Gangs of New York as well, because I do love that film. I thought it was great film, great performances from Daniel Day-Lewis. You know what I'm saying? DiCaprio. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff, man. But yeah, that's my 4. Those are my 4.
Okay, I respect that. So let us know in the comments below, what are your 4 favorite gangster movies?
Yes, man, let us know.
What are your Mount Rushmore gangster movies? And by the way, just know I flip flop a lot, so you may catch me tomorrow and my answer might be different. So don't fault me for that.
Yeah.
Other than that, you got something you want to add before we go into artists?
No.
Okay, cool deal. Let's go and get out of here. Y'all know how we like to get out of here. Artist of the week.
Yes.
Artist of the week is our time to give shout out to the artists out here that are doing their craft and doing their craft well. And we want to give them their shout out because we know, hey, we're artists. We understand that little bit of shout out can make somebody's day and be great. We also want to shout out when people are doing great stuff because when they're doing great stuff, it makes everybody look great around them. And shouting them out, who doesn't want to acknowledge greatness and dopeness?
And yes, sir.
But for this week in particular, I personally wanted to shout somebody out, even though that person, why would you shout them out? This person really out here grinding and doing shit.
Yeah.
And so for me, the artist of the week is my guy right here, M. Kennedy.
Oh, you ain't had to do that, man.
Nah, fam, we gotta do that, man. My guy's out here working his ass off. Y'all heard the list of stuff he's got going on at the beginning. Not to mention, if y'all ain't checked his Instagram out, my guy's featured in magazines. Man, my guy's out here doing it, man.
Shout out, man. I really appreciate that, dog. That means a lot, dude.
We giving artists out of, hey, man, how can we pat somebody else on the back if we can't pat ourselves on the back?
Hey, that's a very good saying.
Much love, my homie.
Shout out, my nigga. I really appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure you get you a homie like Jay, someone who's supportive. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all out here with straight busters as friends. You gotta have good homies who's gonna support you and push you. Make sure that you're doing good all the time. And recognize your work and achievements, dog. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that. But nah, fam, you keep doing your shit, man. You out here doing it. You inspire me, homie.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hold that shit up. Choke that shit up. Nigga, we just got done talking about gangsters.
Yeah, he said, yeah, what you doing, man? You making us look
gangsters
bad.
Don't cry.
Yeah, real gangsters don't cry. Yeah.
All right. With that, Culture Clowns, we out.
Deuces.